this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Welcome back to my video channel this afternoon, and thank you for pressing play. And today we're going to be making this lovely card here using this set of stamps, the number of years set of stamps. But before we do that, I just wanted to show you, just give you a quick glimpse. This is the brand new catalogue that will be available from the 1st of June for you to order from. Isn't it pretty? I love this cover. I love this rainbow effect around here, really pretty. And just to say, you can see at the top here I've got all my post-it notes in for all the things that I'd like to order. If you'd like a copy of this catalogue and you don't have a demonstrator, you'd like to receive one free of charge in the post, just email me. If you click through to my blog, my email address is there on the Contact Me tab, and you can email me and just let me know that you'd like a catalogue sent to you. And they'll be going out in the middle of May-ish, so you can have a bit of a couple of weeks to have a look before you can actually order from it. So just put that to one side. Back to my card now, because we've got a new catalogue coming out. Lots and lots of things from the old catalogue are going to be retiring, one of which is the lovely number of years. I'm so sad that this set is going. It's one of my favourites. So the number of years set is going, as are the big numbers. I can't remember what they're called. The number dies that go with these. Which is really sad, because actually I don't think there's anything in the catalogue that's going to replace this, so I don't know what we're going to do for numbers, but someone ingenious will come up with something. And you can see my card today, although I'm using the number of years set, hasn't got any numbers on it, because these little elements, little floral elements, are really great for making cards. I really like them, and so, you know, that's one thing I'll miss as well as the happy birthday and happy anniversary, which I think are really nice fonts and a really nice size. Those messages I'll miss as well. Anyway, so let's get on with our card today. So I made this one with a sweet sugar plum base. Today I'm going to change up the colours a little bit, and I'm going to use pink Peekaboo Peach. Both of these colours, sweet sugar plum and Peekaboo Peach, will be leaving us at the end of the catalogue, at the end of May. So if you like these colours and wanted to get them, you've got a limited amount of time to do that. So I am starting off with a card base of Peekaboo Peach, which measures 15 by 21 centimetres, or if you're in Imperial, 6 inches by 8 1/4 inches, and it's scored halfway, so in centimetres at 10 1/2, in inches at 4 1/8. That's my card base. I've then got a white panel that we're going to stamp on. This panel measures 1/2 centimetre or 1/4 inch smaller than the card base. So in centimetres it measures 14 1/2 by 10, and in inches it measures 5 3/4 by 4. Okay, so let's get stamping. So we've got our panel. We're going to take the big leaf punch, the stamp, not the punch, and we're going to take Pear Pizzazz as our green. I'm glad to say Pear Pizzazz will be staying. Okay, and we're going to ink this up, and we're just going to stamp around the card base. So I'm starting in a corner, the corner here, and the bottom of my stems there are just going to hit the corner here. Okay, so a little bit of the stamp will go over the edges, but not too much. And I love the way this stamps. It's kind of a watercolour image. They don't all stamp equally. So it's a beautiful way to get a watercolour look really easily, a bit of a cheat watercolour. So that one there. And then I'm going to do one in all 4 corners. And last one here. But then I'm just going to come in and I'm going to do one in the middle there and one in the middle there. So I've more or less covered my cardstock with Pear Pizzazz leaves and foliage. Okay, so this is a way of actually creating your own DSP, if you like. It looks like a piece of DSP on the back of that card, but we've stamped it. Okay, so because I've got different colours, a colour of card, I'm going to use different colours of ink here today. So I'm going to start with Peekaboo Peach, and I'm going to start stamping with this stamp here. Can you see that little one with lots of little dots? Because when you stamp it, it kind of looks like a bit like, I don't know, sort of a grape hyacinth or something like that. It's sort of tall and thin with lots of little petals on it. And I'm going to look for branches here on here that end without anything on them, and I'm going to stamp this on the end of them. You see? So I'm going to do that one. So on each of these there'll be two. One there and one there. One here and one here. There are some other blank branches, but we're going to do something else with them in a sec. One here. So the ones I'm stamping are the ones that are either side of this tallest leaf spray, if that helps you when you're trying to place your stamps. One there and then one there. This card was a bit of a case from one that was in last year's catalogue. I've changed it up a little bit, but it's very similar. I'm using different ribbons this year because we don't have the same ribbons. There we go. That's my Pear Pizzazz all done. Okay, I'm then going to come in with yellow. I'm going to use Daffodil Delight to do, on this card here, I used Pink Pirouette to do those, but on this one I'm going to use Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to come in now. You get this little stamp here, the two little sort of squiggly rosebuds, I think, or rose flowers. But I find it difficult to place them, so I've cut mine in half. And I know some of you will say, oh my goodness, but I have no objection to doing that. So this stamp here, can you see I've cut, you can see the cut edge there, I've cut it apart from its mate so that I can just use this one on its own. So this one I'm going to use on the end of all the other blank stems. So there's one there, so just pop that there, and then there's a kind of space here, can you see, if I pull that up to the camera a bit more, kind of space at the bottom of that, and I'm going to pop one of these flowers in there as well. It really is so easy. It's like stamping by numbers doing this. Let's put it in the space. So one at the end of the stem, one in the space, one at the end of the stem, one in the space. Oh, I'm liking this colour scheme. I like this yellow and peekaboo peach together. One in the space, one at the end of the stem, one going off the edge, and one on the stem. There we go. Okay, so that's all my daffodil yellow done. And then just for a little bit more of a pop of colour, I'm going to bring in Pumpkin Pie, which is here, and I'm going to do this little 5-petaled flower. It looks very tiny, but actually it's quite sweet and it's plenty big enough to do what I want to do with it. So in there, and any places where I can see a bit of a space, I'm just going to pop one of these flowers. So maybe going off the edge there, one in there, maybe two in this space. There's a big space here, so I might pop two in, and then one there. There we go. And that's all that stamping done. The only other stamping we need to do is of the greeting. So I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to take a piece of Whisper White card and the two words that say happy birthday, and you can see I've aligned them already on my clear block, one above the other. They're separate stamps, but I've aligned them, so you could have them running in a long line, or you can put them one on top of each other. If you're going to do that, I would just test it when you've put it on your block. Just test it to make sure they are really straight and how you want them. And so I'm going to take the Pear Pizzazz ink again and stamp that on my piece of white Whisper White card. Yeah, that's fine. And then I'm going to come in with 2 punches. I've got a 2-inch punch and a 1 3/4 inch punch. So I'm going to punch out the greeting with my 1 3/4 inch punch. Make sure I'm on camera. Like so. And then I'm going to take a piece of Peekaboo Peach and come in, oh, let's take that out of there, come in with my 2-inch punch. Really quick and easy using these circle punches, a lot less faffing around than getting the die cutter out. I do love my die cutter, but sometimes it can be a bit of a faff. Right, I'm going to mount that on there. So I'm going to use a little bit of Tombow. Don't know if I've ever showed you this before on camera, but when I'm working, I keep my Tombow upside down with the lid off in a little jar that has a little bit of damp cotton wool in the bottom, which stops the end from clogging up and means whenever I go to use it, the glue is always there ready for me to use it, and I don't have to shake it or wait for it to settle down. So quite a good little tip, and the damp cotton wool just keeps the tip nice and moist so that it doesn't dry out. So that's my tip, my top tip for you today. Hope you enjoy that. There we go. That's not very straight. And that's the joy of Tombow, of course, because I can peel that off and reposition it. I want the border the same all the way round. Is that better? Yes. Let's just do it one more time. A bit more of a wiggle. Stuck. There we go. Just try and make sure by eye that it's in the right place before you finally stick. There we go, that's fine. Okay, that's going to go on there in a second, but first I'm going to put the ribbon on. So the ribbon I'm using is our Pear Pizzazz 1 centimetre shimmer ribbon. See, I've got it on a card bobbin here, and we need 2 lengths of 9.5 centimetres. So I've got my measurement on my grid pad here. So I need one at 9.5 and another at 9.5, like so. And then we need a strip of the striped gross grain ribbon in Peekaboo Peach. Just cut that end off there. And I need a 12 centimetre or 4 3/4 length of this one. That's about there. Don't know if you can see on my scissors, these are my ribbon scissors. I don't use these for anything else because then they stay nice and sharp to cut ribbon. My good friend Jez Carpenter, who is Jezza Creates, included these little charms, scissor charms, in our swaps on stage last week. So I thought I'd put mine to good use and mark out so that everyone at my classes will know that these are the ribbon scissors, only to be used for ribbons. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to place our ribbons on the card like this with a little bit of tear and tape. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to mark the centre of my card because I want to know that it is actually really central. So it's 13, this measures 14.5, so about 7, and just that looks right. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of tear and tape, and I put the tape on the card rather than on the ribbon, and then stick the ribbon onto it. Different ways of doing it, but that's how I like to do it, so that I've got a bit more control then, I feel. There we go. Doesn't matter if it doesn't go right to the ends of the ribbon can hang free if you want it to. Okay, so I'm going to take off the backing, my trusty tweezers. I've not got enough nails to do that. There we go. I'm just going to bend the ribbon in half so I know exactly where the centre is, so that I can line it up with my pencil mark and know that I've got that exactly in the right place. So that one's going there. There we go. And this one, sorry, I've got it too low. Just forget that this board is higher than I think it is. There we go. That's my green ribbon, and then my Peekaboo Peach ribbon is going to come over and go over the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fishtail the ends. So I'm going to fold them together and just take my ribbon scissors again and cut like that. It gives you a nice banner end to your ribbon. So again, fold them over and snip. There we go. 2 nice banner ends on my ribbon, and again I need a little bit of tear and tape. So glad this is still in the catalogue. Next year, don't know what I'd do without tear and tape. I use it so much. And back with my tweezers. If I can get this off. Talk amongst yourselves while I do this. There we go. I think I've got it. There we go. And so on. So lots of exciting things happening in Stampin' Up at the moment. New catalogue coming out, a huge colour revamp, lots of colours going, lots of colours coming, which is really quite exciting. Right, the last thing I need to do then, I need to stick my sentiment on here, which I'm going to use a couple of dimensionals for. So 1, 2, don't think I need any more than that. This will stick with, it's only a tiny bit of cardboard, so that will stick, and they're quite strong, the dimensionals. So stick that there in the centre. And lastly, I just need to glue my panel, the panel I've made, to my base. And there you have it, one beautiful card, nice easy stamping. This would be a perfect card for beginners. And there, like so, and there's my card finished. There we go. Hope you like that. So let's compare them. We've got one in Peekaboo Peach and one in Sweet Sugar Plum. Very sweet, very easy to make. Just one stamp set, a few colour pads, but really pretty. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you'll come back another day to see me. I've got lots of other projects to show you, some with retiring products and some not. But until then, I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.